Doesn't that music just make you feel like reading a book? Doesn't it? Welcome back to Sunrise. We are in our book club segment, and we are going to be speaking with Abigail Sparks, who wrote The Art of Appeal. Want to hear a lot more about this? Want to hear what's going on? I also know you're having a book launch later, next month. So we're going to hear all about it. Welcome to Sunrise.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning.
I always like to start. I mean, I can't imagine writing a book. That's the first thing. And so I always have to ask everybody, like, what is the inspiration? What is a moment that makes you go, you know what? I need to put this in a book. Tell us about that.
Okay, so this is the second book I'm writing, actually. First one was a devotional. This one, however, was burdened, or it was built out of my own passion for prayer. So I'm very passionate about prayer, and I wanted to impart that passion to other persons. So I wanted them to understand, hey, prayer is something that is very interesting, very detailed, very not intimidating.
Yeah, not intimidating, and kind of something that helps you to get into it and ease into it. But let me ask you this, Abigail. You know, there are a few prayer books or prayer type books on the market. What would you say makes your book different?
All right, what makes The Art of Appeal different is that it is not a typical prayer book in the sense that we're just talking about the basics of prayer. What Art of Appeal does is teach people what prayer is, the types of prayer and intercession, why it's important to pray. So the aim, therefore, is to have persons leave with a knowledge that, hey, prayer is something that has to be very intimidating, doesn't have to be burdensome, it doesn't have to be something that is scary. Prayer is a conversation with God, and in that conversation, you're able to have fellowship with Him.
Yeah, I think sometimes people think that you have to pray a certain way,
right,
or you have to speak a certain way, or you have to say it this way. I want to know what you would want. I mean, that's a very great message that you have there, but what else do you want readers to kind of walk away with in reading this book? What do you want them to know the most?
Well, I want persons to leave understanding that at its core, again, prayer is communication. And with communication, the same way you speak with somebody, it grows, it develops. How you started with prayer doesn't have to be how you end with prayer. You grow in intimacy, you grow in relationship with God. And that starts by speaking with Him. It starts by being consistent. It starts with having the faith and the willingness to start that dialogue.
I love that. Yeah.
Is there, would you say personally, is there a right and wrong way to pray?
I wouldn't say there's a right or wrong way to pray as black and white as that. But I would say that there is a level of effectiveness that you can have in prayer that's not straight across the board. So how I may pray for a headache may need to be a bit more strategic or a bit more targeted. So in the book, we talk about something called prayer precision. In prayer precision, we're looking at prayer points. It's like talking about a headache. So if I'm praying for your headache, I'm not praying for your foot. I'm not praying for back pain. I'm being focused on the issue. And for prayer to really have that punch or to have that powerful impact, you have to be on target. You have to be hitting the points.
You know what I love about that, and what it helps with overall is clarity. Because there's sometimes when people are like, oh, I'm praying for happiness. But then they don't really think about what that entails, like what would make me happy, what would make, and so I love that. I love the idea of that. Tell me, who would you say this book is for?
This book is for both the person just discovering prayer, but also the person that has been praying for years. How The Art of Appeal was written is to meet anyone at their place or at their point. So it starts off with, okay, what prayer is, but then we journey through the details of prayer, the intricacies of prayer, the principles of prayer. Not to make it too complex or intimidating again, but for you to understand that, hey, prayer is something that is really fascinating. It's something that is very, I don't want to say elaborate, but it's very, if you're passionate about it, conversation becomes easier because you're looking at all the things you can talk about with God.
Where can we find this book?
The Art of Appeal will be available on Amazon on April 4th, but we will also be having our launch at the Emmanuel Apostolic Church on April 4th at 7 p.m. Persons will be able to order their copies there or purchase their copies there for $2,500.
Oh, nice.
I love that. Yeah,
Nice.
this is a really great book, and it's your second book.
Can you imagine with your youthfulness? Look at you, author.
I can't can't wait to hear what the third book will be about. I'm sure you're praying on it, though.
I am.
Right? I love that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and taking us on this journey. You've certainly opened our eyes a little bit more, and I'm sure everybody watching feels the same way.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you so much. All right, guys, that was Abigail Sparks. Her book, The Art of Appeal. I said the appeal.
Yeah, man. Your name or you name,
The
you know.
Art of Appeal. Definitely check it out online on Amazon. Get your hands on that. We'll be right back after this quick break. I love that.
Yeah.